Hello everyone, thanks for coming outside with me today. Today we're talking about Huntworth's Lodi hunting backpack. First things first, let's go over the actual dimensions of the pack. I'll flash them up here on the screen, as well as just kind of give you a good visual representation. I've kind of loaded this out today to the 9s with just kind of, so it's all filled out and you can kind of get a good size of how it actually looks here. I put one climbing stick on the outside because today I am hanging trail cameras and I do like to get on some of these public lands where it's a little bit shady with people. I'd like to have one stick with me so you get a general good representation. Also, of course, on the bottom, the Lodi does have the straps so you can strap extra layers, and this is the Huntworth heavyweight jacket, so this is about as much bulk as I would get out of my Huntworth clothing that I do have. Two water bottle holders on the outside that are mesh and elastic top. I don't like the drawstrings, much rather have the elastic. Plenty of pockets and zippers, and we'll go through all of them as we pull stuff out of the pack as we go through. But to further along what's going on the outside, this is in the disruption camo. What I've got here on my legs is the tartan. I much rather prefer the tartan just for my own clothing, but this is the backpack that they sent me. Also on the outside here with the climbing stick, this is probably the best part of this backpack. That's kind of what is making Huntworth making a hunting backpack. There's a lot of good style backpacks from a lot of different companies, but they don't have this built-in strap system. You have to somehow Aggie engineer some MOLLE webbing and MOLLE straps on the outside. So these are buckle straps you can take and put a full set of sticks. There's also one strip of MOLLE here. Their larger backpack, more expensive backpack, has more strips of MOLLE, but this one strap here would be perfect. We'll set the stick off to the side. We do have one exterior pocket here that is not connected obviously to the inside. Plenty of room in here. You could definitely store a whole bunch of different items. And of course, everybody's going to stash their backpack a little bit differently than others. And I know some of you who follow the channel might be thinking, what about sling packs, Nate? We'll get to sling packs in a second, trust me. Right in here, this is the secondary pocket. All of their secondary pockets are lined with this, that nylon D type material, tent material. Very good and durable, ripstop. Zipper pocket right here, so that way if you want to separate smaller items, for example, in here would go my kill kit, which would be my license, my pen, my drag rope, gun and gloves, knife, that type of stuff. So that way it's separate and stuff isn't getting lost throughout the entire confines of the backpack. The coolest part about this backpack to me is the amount of stuff you can fit into it in a relatively small package. So this is no bigger than your standard backpack. I mean, I'll throw it on here real quick. And you can see that the front profile and even the side profile is no larger than your standard backpack, but the inside just feels enormous. Let me show you how much gear I can get inside this thing. Oh, but real quick up top here, and I have a secondary microphone in this little pouch right up top. This pouch is not lined with the nylon. This is actually done with a micro fleece, and it is meant for things like your glasses, your range finder. In this case, I'm putting an old microphone, or my other microphone in here, just to keep stuff from getting scratched. And of course, it is convenient that it's not like shoved inside of the pockets. It's right on top. So if you do need quick access to a rangefinder or something like that, you have it right up there, or your glasses, something like that. Now the main pocket, I just kind of, like I said, packed this to the 9s today. I just want to show you how much I shoved in here, and there's still plenty of room for more. Trail camera, 48-ounce Nalgene. Put in a giant hand warmer. This is the Mammoth heating muff from Huntworth. Arctic Shield boot covers, huge, the extra largest. Bino harness with binos. 4th Arrow's Talon arm and a Manfrotto Be-Free fluid head. The Talon shoulder. And there was still room to pack more, but I just didn't feel like carrying all that much. Look at this thing. It's like the Mary Poppins bag. I'm 6'4" and I have a 31-inch draw length when I shoot my bow. This thing is coming with making a fist. It's coming up halfway up my bicep. There is so much daggum room in this initial pocket. I mean, you just can't get this much space out of a backpack in this price range. Now, I've seen a lot of other backpacks that have this amount of space or a little bit more, but they're 2 to 3 times the cost of this backpack, MSRP in particular. On the inside, you do have a separate pack. This would be like a laptop sleeve if you wanted just to have a camo backpack and not use it for hunting, or you could separate other larger, maybe a lighter layer that you can put in here, or as I like to use it, with a water bladder, because there is a water bladder port up top here. So you can put whatever you want in here, but for me, I'm a water bladder guy. That's where it's gonna go. On the inside here, you do have a mesh pouch with a zipper up top. So if you wanted to stash, I don't know, some sort of valuable, your phone or something in here, it does have the ability to breathe, but it also has the bottom there, so it's not just going to easily rip out. So I got everything back on here, including the stick. Let's turn this around and talk about this padding. So you actually have good breathable mesh here, and you do have memory foam, some type of foam there on the inside, both in the shoulder straps as well as the back. Allows it to breathe. Today it's in the high 70s, low 80s. I've been doing a couple of miles out here, hanging trail cameras and looking for sign. Definitely very nice to have a little breathable mesh here so I'm not completely swamped on my back. Does come with the across the chest strap here. It does have a whistle, so you can adjust this up and down. You can slide this up and down your chest as necessary on both sides, and of course you can cinch it to fit your needs. You also have the water bladder hose attachment here, so that way you can keep that from flopping around once it's on your shoulder, and you can move that either on your left shoulder or your right shoulder. I like to keep it on my left, but depending on where you like to have it, or if you want to have it out of your way, depending on how you draw your bow or shoulder a gun, you can do that as well. A couple of rings here. I've seen a lot of people start to attach their handheld style releases, like their thumb and hinge releases, to these on like a retractable gear hoist type idea, or you could clip your rangefinder or something else to it. It's nice to have these kind of rings here. You don't need a whole bunch. I don't need 27 loops of molly. I just need like one ring or two. It's just nice addition to your shoulder straps. But in my opinion, the money maker with the Lodi backpack, even over its big brother, is the fact that down here it has buckles. So you can actually take these apart like so and loop this through a tree stand if you would like, and then clip the tree stand and the backpack to your back. Now, I'm not a tree stand hunter, but for those of you that do run smaller climber stands like the Lone Wolf climber, or still use a hang-on like the XOP Vanish XT, which is a stand that I do have and I do still use from time to time, that's excellent. But what I really like it for, if I can put this back together the way it should be, if you follow the Average Jack Archery channel on the Norm and you've seen my hunting and other gear dump style videos, you know I'm a big fan of sling packs. I don't mind backpacks, particularly for scouting and turkey season. I don't mind having the two straps over, but when it comes to ascending the tree, particularly with saddle gear, and I have the little platform, the Predator tethered platform in my pack, I like to be able to use a sling pack and flip this around my body, flip it over, so I don't have to take it off like this, fish with it around the tree, put it back on like so, so on and so forth. I don't like that. I like the sling pack idea, which is where these removable buckle straps comes in huge. So I get to the base of the tree, I can go ahead and loosen these straps as far as I would like. And since they are buckled, I can remove one and clip it to the other side. So I'll have this come over my left shoulder. I can remove that, just like so. Stretch this strap out pretty long here, so that way I can still get a good use of it. Hopefully I don't whack the microphone too much here. And now I have a sling pack. So let's set you up here. And right off the bat, I have a sling pack. Now I wouldn't carry it like this, right? This backpack's not meant to be carried like this. It would eventually get uncomfortable, and the weight distribution isn't the same. But in terms of climbing up and down a tree, this is perfect, because now all I have to do is slide this around. Now I have full access to my climbing stick or my pack. My Predator pack would be on the inside, or I can molly it to the outside, however I want, if I want my extra layer. And then when I'm done, slide it around and get it out of my way. When I'm done sliding back and forth, of course, the pack gets lighter the more and more I take out of it. Then all I have to do is unbuckle it this way. It's gonna look a little uncomfortable because it's heavy right now, just like I would a standard sling pack. Have my strap right up here on the top, and I can clip it onto the tree, and now I'm ready to get into my saddle gear and really get on with the saddle hunt. Now, the only snag with this whole situation is actually a lack of a snag, and that is how easily these straps, and this is true whether it's in the backpack mode or in this mode, when you don't have weight, you don't have tension, they slide very easily, and the tag-ins are not that beefy. I might end up sewing this over once more and making a really beefy tag-in so it can't get stuck inside of the buckles down in here. But when you don't have any, like when you have tension, it doesn't slide. It doesn't slide at all. It never slid once when I was having full tension on it when I was just doing that exercise. But as soon as it goes slack and you don't have any tension on it, it pulls right out to the end. This is the biggest complaint I have with this pack. I wish this was either, I don't know how you'd make it a little bit tighter spec, or maybe it'd be a doubled over strap, so that way it doesn't have to slide in and out as easily. Just something like that. I'm gonna have to definitely DIY rig something, I think, for it to fully fit my needs. But in terms of a really good pack all around, I mean, that's 2% of the 100% of this pack here. Right, so if you keep weight and tension on it, right? This pack's gotta weigh north of 30 pounds. It's not moving. Even if I let it go slack, let's see, right? Still not moving, but it's when it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, then you just accidentally do that, there it goes, right? There's no release to it. So that's the only snag. Everything else about it though, I am truly in love with this pack. All right, so now it's a couple of days later and I've been working through how I'm gonna take this pack into the actual woods, really kind of working out all the kinks. And I think I have a system that's gonna work really, really well. And again, I'm super impressed with how much stuff can fit in this backpack with just a small profile that it is. I have all my camera gear and other things that I would need for saddle hunting. I'm wearing my tethered Phantom saddle. The only thing that is missing from the situation is my climbing sticks, which I always sling across my shoulder no matter what pack style I'm using currently or have in the past, and of course my bow. But outside of that, I'm ready to go. So first things first, I'm at the tree. I would take my climbing sticks off. I would put the first one right here on the tree, and then I would loop the other ones here into my side paracord on my saddle, and now I'm ready to start ascending the tree. So I'm going to put the backpack into sling pack mode, if you will, get that cinched down a little bit, and now I'm ready to utilize it as a sling back as I ascend the tree. So the nice part about this pack and using it like a sling style pack compared to just a regular backpack, and the way that the Lodi is built, is that my Predator pack, I don't need for my Predator platform, my Predator pack. So I can keep that pack on another bag, use it in a totally different situation. Because of the buckles here, this simply unclips, and because of the flared shape of the tethered Predator here, I can just unclip it from the backside of the pack, and as I'm ascending the tree, I can slide that back around, get this installed, and then I'm ready to get onto my platform and get on with my hunt. So I brought you in, punched you in a lot closer here, so that way you can actually see what's going on. You don't care what's going on with my feet. At this point now, like I said, I would have been on top of a climbing stick. I could have brought this around, unclipped the outside, and then put the Predator onto the tree, stepped up onto the platform, and now I am here. At this point, on this side in the water bottle here, I have the his strap from Tethered. Now, I've made a DIY one in the past. It's nice to actually have the real one here. And this is the meat and potatoes of my entire saddle hunting setup. So now that I have the his strap onto the tree, I can now get my camera bag off. Now, obviously, you having the camera bag, or having the camera rather, obviously the camera bag is a little bit on the lighter side. But on the inside here, I like to keep my camera bag separate from everything else. And the beauty, again, of the size of this day pack, I twirl it out of the way again, the beauty, the size of that is I can fit this whole thing inside of there. So I have the 4th hammer Talon system with the base, and I would also have the lens for this Sony A7C and the 24-105 f4 lens, as well as the Movo VXR10 here. But again, just another S-beaner, and I would clip this right in. Remember, my bow is not here yet, so now I have full access to all of my camera equipment. And at this point, I would go ahead and open up this pack. I don't like having my pack right here in front of me because this is now in sling pack mode. I can move this out of the way, and of course, before I even unzip that, I can come back here and clean this up. Zip that shut like that. Now it's out of the way, and now I can go ahead and install my camera base. So at this point, because this pack is nice and hung here because of this his strap, the only thing I really have to worry about is feeding it behind this pack here and getting this tag in out of the way. But now that that's open, getting that tag ends out of the way is easy. And you'll notice I have not brought out my tether yet. I'm running strictly off of my lineman's belt, which there's nothing wrong with it. This is totally safe. I got plenty of room on this platform. That means I don't have to fight with what's right in front of me. I can work above my lineman's belt because it's down here. So I'm going to go ahead and fish this strap around the tree. So at this point, I can move the camera arm out of the way, just wrap it around the tree. And then I still have this tag in here. I would now move this, because I'm done with it, I'm going to move this actually over here to this side. Or I can put it back in the pack because the pack is so empty now. But at this point, I can take the pack around, unclip it. I'll then S-beaner this here into this tag end to keep it up and available to me. And I could have done this at the beginning too, and just work with the camera gear right here in this bag, but then this is like right where I want my shoulder base. So I'm gonna use the bag right here, but at this point now, the bag is off, the bag is down here, the camera bag's now here, nothing else is on this side, everything's still square. At this point now, I can go ahead and I can grab my tether. Then I can, now that I'm connected in here safely, I can remove my lineman's belt, daisy chain my lineman's belt back up. And now at this point, because there would be other things in here, obviously still, there's plenty of room. I mean, oh my gosh, there's so much room inside this backpack. that I could easily continue to add stuff to it. I probably will put like my Arctic Shield boot covers in here, so on and so forth. But at this point now, because there's that nice memory foam on the back side to it, this now becomes my knee pad. So I can move it up and down. This tag in, these hip straps are so nice and long and convenient that I can now lower this down to an area that's acceptable. Have it around, now it's my knee pad for my saddle. And so now I can knee pad in the tree, I can pull my bow up, I can hang my bow in the strap, get the quiver clipped on here, and I am ready to stick something with an arrow. Now again, at this point, everything's out of the way. I can now maneuver my camera arm up underneath me. I can be able to shoot right here. I can maneuver it out around this way. And since I have the pack, I have the ability to lower it and get it down to here. It's definitely not in my way. I can come into the tree. I can move this around this way. I can shoot back behind me in that drop shot. This system works out really well, and the ability to get it all in efficiently and effectively is because of this Lodi pack. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions on the Lodi Day backpack or the other one that they make that I'm also testing right now, or any of the Huntworth clothes, or just anything that pertains to hunting in general, please follow the links below. Hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. Send me an email, averagejacarchery@gmail.com, or drop a comment here on YouTube for everybody to learn from. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery hunting if you so choose. Definitely enjoy God's beautiful creation. The season's coming faster than you think, and we'll get to see you next time.